Digital clutter. That's what we're talking about today. Hi, this is Frank Buck, and this is the place to be if you want to get organized and make it look easy. Digital information is easy to save. That's both a blessing and a curse. Digital information is easy to search, making it easy to find things, even if everything's a mess. But there's real serendipity in a well organized note taking system. I want you to imagine that you're going into the public library in search of a particular book. Let's say your hobby is chess and you have a particular title in mind. You find the exact call number for the book, go to the exact shelf where this book should be located, and you're able to put your hands on just the book that you want. But what do you see all around that book? It's other books also on chess. Books you may never have heard of, but now that you see them, you're interested in them. That's the serendipity. When your digital notes are well organized, you'll find the things that you're looking for, but you'll also see related information you forgot you even had. And that's the serendipity of your digital organization. So let's get started organizing your Evernote account. Now, I've heard people ask if the best thing to do with a disorganized note taking system is just delete everything and start over. Nothing could be further from the truth. What we're going to do here is clean things up, not burn things down. So here's what we start with. Create a new notebook in Evernote and call it Organize. We're going to organize our notes using this as a starting point. We're going to take every single note in that digital mess and move it into that one notebook. And then little by little, we will move things from the organized notebook into their permanent homes. So go one notebook at a time and move the notes from that notebook to the organized notebook. You can move up to 100 notes at a time. So click the first note, hold the shift key, and click a note that's about 100 notes later. The blue menu appears at the bottom. Choose Move, and for the name of the notebook, choose your Organize notebook. With 14,000 notes, it's going to take a while, but it's rinse and repeat, so you can do it while you're watching television. Once you have the notes moved, delete any of the empty notebooks that you don't want. Keep the ones that are going to be relevant to you, and do the same thing with the tags that you feel you won't need. Deleting a tag will not delete any of the notes. It will just remove the tag from those notes. So now, with all of your notes in the organized notebook, you can start creating your new system. Here are the mainstays that have served me well for quite a long time. First up is a notebook called Dot Inbox. And that's pretty standard to have an inbox just like you have an email inbox. Now, for me, that dot as the leading character makes that notebook sort to the top of the list, which is exactly where I want it. Next, I have a stack called slash current underscore project. So, in other words, a stack for current projects. I want to separate notebooks that are related to things that are a work in progress from notebooks that are simply reference information. So that's why I have this stack. And that forward slash sorts that stack to the top of the list and puts it just below dot inbox. After that stack, I have all the other notebooks, just in alphabetical order. I don't use many stacks just to keep the architecture a little more flat. And then at the very bottom, I have a stack called Z completed underscore projects. That's run together as if it was one word. Z completed, the underscore sign, projects. When something has been in that current project stack and it's now done, I move it to this Z completed project stack at the bottom. For example, that big trip will generate a notebook. When the trip is done, I delete whatever in it is of no value and move the notebooks to Z completed projects. And then inside that Z completed project stack is a notebook called Z completed projects because I often have single notes that had action items that have been completed. For example, for each coaching client or speaking engagement, I have a note. I'm able to assemble everything about that client or that event in a single note. When the speaking engagement is over or the relationship with the client has reached its end, I move the note to the Z completed underscore projects notebook located inside the Z completed project stack. If I were you, I would also create a miscellaneous notebook for now. As you start to work with your new setup, you'll create notes and you'll be stumped about where to put them, what notebook to put them in. So put them in that miscellaneous notebook for now. But then as you refine your notebooks, go back through your miscellaneous notebook and move notes to their proper homes. Soon, that miscellaneous notebook will be empty and you can delete it. Now you're up and running. As you have time, work through your organized notebook. Delete the things that are trash. Clean up the notes. I kind of have a rule for myself that each time I touch a note, I try to improve that note in some way. Delete the things that you don't need. Maybe it's an image that you web clip from a magazine and you don't really need the image in there. So that what you have is just really pristine, really well organized. Um, get rid of the superfluous information and then move the notes to the notebook in your new structure. Now, during this intermediate stage, when you need something that's in this huge organized notebook that's actually not very well organized, see, they don't call the notebook organized, it's organized. Just use the search function in Evernote. It's going to help you put your hands on what you need. Then, as things are in their proper notebooks, it's going to be a whole lot easier. The search function is still incredible, but you'll be able to go to a particular notebook. And just like the book on chess, you'll see the thing that you're looking for, but you'll also have the serendipity of all the other things that are related to it that you forgot you even had. Now that your system's in good shape, how do you keep it that way? For me, the secret is the inbox with the dot in front of it. When new information comes my way, I just throw it there. I don't have to worry about what to tag it, what notebook it goes in. It can be a little cluttered, but I have a good place to just put it, knowing I can come back to it later and go on with my day. Then in the evening, go into that inbox, clean up the notes that are in there, make decisions about what tags to use, what notebooks to move those things to, so that N becomes empty at the end of the day. I have created quite a few videos on Evernote, as you can well imagine. You may have seen some of them already. In the body of this blog post, I'm going to put a link to a YouTube playlist that houses them all. Enjoy those at your convenience. Best wishes to you as you make digital notes your best friend. Thanks for stopping by today. This has been Frank Buck helping you get organized and make it look easy.